That's Cricket.
Right now, Fox 11 News at 9. They've been on the run for over a week. Police say the two fugitives who busted out of an Arizona prison through a fence hole are leaving a deadly trail. Also, a fight in a Tucson dive bar parking lot goes from fists to gunfire. Plus, good news, the SunTran bus strike is over. We have the latest on the new deal SunTran and Teamsters have agreed on. Fox 11 News at 9 starts right now.
You're watching KMSB, Fox 11. This is Fox 11 News at 9.
As of tomorrow, your regular SunTran bus will be running again. The strike is over. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deanna Morgan. Yes, the wait is over. Teamsters have voted 250 to 76 in favor of a new contract with SunTran that will get buses back on the road tomorrow morning. Fox 11's Carissa Planalp has the details.
You might call it the calm before the storm. The downtown bus depot is quiet now, but tomorrow it's back to business. This after Teamsters approved a 2-year agreement with SunTran that allows them to go back to the negotiating table if layoffs loom. The news has bus riders buzzing.
I ride the bus every day. 5 days a week.
Like almost every day.
Some buses will hit the road tomorrow as early as 5 in the morning. Great news for this student as he faces the upcoming school year.
Well, I'm going to take the bus to school, but I take the bus to the library and other places. I think it's great that they made the decision.
They give me a hard time, you know.
This man says he's looking forward to seeing everything back to normal. Teamsters walked out last Monday, and ever since, bus service has been less than reliable. That is, if you were using one of the few routes still in operation.
Yeah, we're glad for that because it put many people to work and people to go to job day late.
It's interesting. I've had the same conversation a lot.
Employees at the District Tavern across the street say they've seen an increase in customers, many of them jilted bus riders.
It's summertime, so it's generally pretty slow anyway, but because of the strike, we've been getting a lot of people that are unsatisfied with the 2-hour waits.
They hope the end of the strike leads to better spirits. Carissa Planalp, Fox 11 News.
The 2-year agreement between SunTran and Teamsters does not include any pay raises, and workers will continue to have their health and welfare costs completely covered. A bus full of activists against government spending stopped in Tucson today. They rolled by the Good Egg restaurant near Oracle and River in what they call the Spending Revolt bus. The group says the federal government spends more than $100,000 every second, and they want citizens to take a stand against this.
We want this election to be all about spending. We want everybody who's running for office and everybody who's trying to stay in office to understand that the people in America are very concerned about what we're doing to our children and to our grandchildren.
The group arrived from San Diego this morning. Its next stop is Las Vegas. A woman hit and killed at the intersection of Broadway and Pantano yesterday did nothing to cause the crash. That's what police say. 52-year-old Camille Visconti drove through a green light as she traveled south on Pantano past Broadway. The woman who hit her, who police haven't identified, ran a red light. Police have cited that woman. They don't think alcohol was a factor. Now to a continuously developing story much of the state is following. We have new clues tonight on the whereabouts of the 2 Arizona inmates who escaped from prison. U.S. Marshals now believe John McCluskey and Tracy Provence have a new hiding spot, Yellowstone National Park. They've also been named suspects in a double murder in New Mexico. Fox 11's Ryan O'Donnell has more on what's going on.
We have information that leads us to believe that they have separated.
Separated, but possibly hiding out in the same big national park, Yellowstone. It's believed Tracy Provence broke away from John McCluskey and his fiancée, Caslin Welch. Fidencio Rivera with the U.S. Marshal Service says it's not uncommon fugitives try to hide out in an area designated for camping.
We believe that they're desperate. And you know, when people are desperate, they do desperate things and potentially more violence, trying to find funding.
On Wednesday, officials in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, discovered this burned-out camper inside the skeletal remains of Gary and Linda Haas of Oklahoma. The couple's truck used to pull the trailer was found about 100 miles west in Albuquerque.
One of them was more likely responsible for the death of those two elderly folks, the elderly couple, and it could happen again.
Yesterday, John McCluskey's mom, Claudia Washburn, was arrested, accused of giving the group money to run from the law. And so far, this group of fugitives have covered a lot of ground.
Based upon the information we have, these subjects have been in Texas, they have been in New Mexico, now Montana and Wyoming.
After talking to McCluskey's mom, the U.S. Marshal Service believes McCluskey and Province might have ties to a white supremacist group that could be helping them move about the country.
That was Fox 11's Ryan O'Donnell. The U.S. Marshal Service is offering a $40,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Welch, McCluskey, and Tracy Province. They were last seen in a gold 1997 Nissan Sentra with an Arizona license plate that reads 620, P as in Paul, F as in Frank, V as in Victor. The 3 Yavapai detention officers killed on their way to work tonight have been identified as 42-year-old Brian Callahan, 42-year-old John Schultz, and 24-year-old Jose Presas. Their colleagues say the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office is devastated. All died yesterday while carpooling to the Camp Verde jail. The tragic crash happened on Highway 169 outside of Dewey-Humboldt. A man who opened fire at a Tucson bar is wanted tonight by Tucson police. This happened around 1:30 this morning at the November Bar and Cabaret. Officers say the suspect got into a fight with an employee in the parking lot, then fired shots into the bar. The employee apparently fired back before running into the bar. Police are looking for an Hispanic man in his 30s, about 5'6" to 5'11", with a medium build and a buzz cut. If you know him or you've seen him, call 911 or 88 Crime. The school year is just around the corner. If you're young, you know what that means. New clothes. Kids and their parents at the stores for some back-to-school shopping. They stocked up on folders, paper, clothes, all the supplies students will need to start their school year off right.
I got a couple folders, pencils, mechanical pencils, paper just for the class, and crayons and markers.
Wonder if he'll need all of those things. TUSD students will head back to the classroom August 16th. Teachers have to go back this week to prepare for them. Let's count down to Arizona's birthday, shall we? First, quick fact. The Arizona Historical Society says on this day in 1933, Arizona became the 21st state to sanction the repeal of national prohibition. There are 556 days left until Arizona's centennial. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're glad you chose to start your week with us. We have more news to share with you, including a look at national news. People in New York have taken swimming to a whole different level. Desperate Times has called for desperate measures of giving a whole new meaning to the term dumpster diving. Also ahead, Double V in the Sunday Night Sports Force.
In 5 seconds, I heard dumpster diving and Double V. Oops. Yeah, lots of Arizona Wildcat football on the way. Hang around. This is Fox 11 News at 9.
Honey, turn up the volume. Your baby sister has something to say.
This intervention brought to you by Niaspan.
So now your doctor's talking about plaque building up in your arteries. She called it coronary artery disease. You think that's something you can just stick in an email and that's the end of it? Do you know me? Look, Bonnie, I know you've been exercising and eating a healthier diet, and that's great, but you wrote that your doctor also wants you on this cholesterol medicine, Niaspan. I know, another pill, I get it, I do. But I am not taking no for an answer.
If you have high cholesterol and coronary artery disease, and diet and exercise are not enough, Niaspan, along with diet and a bile acid binding resin, is FDA approved not only to slow down plaque buildup, but to actually help clear some of it away.
Bonnie, ever since we were kids, you would do anything for me. I need you to do this for you.
If you cannot afford your medication, call 1-877-NIASPAN. Niaspan is not for everyone, like people with stomach ulcers, liver, or serious bleeding problems. Severe liver damage can occur when switching to Niaspan from immediate-release niacin. Blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness. This could be a sign of serious side effects. This risk can increase with statin use. Tell your doctor about alcohol use if you've ever had gout or are diabetic and experience increases in blood sugar. Flushing, a common side effect, is warmth, redness, itching, or tingling of the skin. Ask your doctor about Niaspan. Fight back. Fight plaque. Niaspan.
This weekend only, you now have 400 reasons to shop at a Jim Click or Holmes Tuttle dealership. 400 used vehicles in stock, guaranteed. 400 vehicles, all VIP certified. 400 vehicles, all with maintenance for life. 400 vehicles starting as low as $59.95. All makes, all models, 400 guaranteed. Because this is not a selection. This is a selection of used vehicles.
Visit any Jim Click or Home Tuttle dealership today.
As hot as it is in Arizona, it doesn't even compare to the triple-digit temperatures that have sparked 600 fires in Russia. It's so bad. People have started wearing masks. They're having breathing problems. Their eyes are irritated. There's a toxic haze of smoke in Moscow that's so thick it's literally suffocating people. Carbon monoxide levels are 6 times the norm. This is now being called a record-breaking summer heat wave. Here in the U.S., Minnesotans are dealing with tornadoes. Check that out. A storm chaser caught this video of a powerful tornado crossing over from North Dakota into Minnesota. No injuries have been reported, but the tornado hit a farmhouse and scattered lots of debris. The storms that caused the tornado began in North Dakota, then moved into Minnesota. Crazy. Well, these may look like regular pools, but they're not. They're dumpsters. New Yorkers living in Manhattan are converting dumpsters into swimming pools. You can swim in them from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. The dumpsters are being converted into pools as part of a city's summer program. I know, Vinny. The weather out there has been hovering around the mid-90s with 80% humidity. President Obama is on a campaign fundraising blitz, and RIM's BlackBerry Torch hits the market. But can it compete with the iPhone and Android? Fox 11's Autria Godfrey takes a look at the week ahead.
Hitting the trail. Monday, President Obama will headline a fundraiser for the Democratic National Committee in Austin. He'll also stop in Dallas to raise money for the party's senatorial campaign committee. It will be a quick trip, though, as the president is scheduled to hit at least 7 cities in just the next 2 weeks. Back to work. Tuesday, the House is scheduled to make an unexpected return to Washington. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called lawmakers back from their summer break to vote on a state aid bill. The legislation will provide $26 billion for cash-strapped local governments to use for Medicaid and teachers' jobs. Also on Tuesday, 3 states get ready for their gubernatorial primary elections. Colorado, Connecticut, and Minnesota citizens will cast their ballots for November's general elections. On Thursday, the Apple iPhone and Google's Android are getting a new competitor with the release of the BlackBerry Torch 9800. AT&T customers can get their hands on the latest BlackBerry, hitting retail stores and online. The phone features a touchscreen display as well as a slide-out keyboard and will utilize the BlackBerry 6 operating system. That's a look at your week ahead. I'm Autria Godfrey, Fox News.
Up next, Kyler has your back-to-work weather forecast. It looks like the rain has gone away and will come back another day. Question is, which day? Also, get ready. Betting in the fun Sunday. I can't talk today. Again, the Sunday Night Sports Force.
Again?
Sunday Night Sports Force. Sunday Night Sports.
One more time. No.
Sunday Night Sports Force.
Yeah, the NFL playing tonight. Plus, we'll travel up to Cards Camp and some Wildcat football. Hang around. Back after this.
The TEP Guarantee. It's a great way to get green. Every energy-efficient Guarantee home is inspected at various stages of construction to ensure proper sealing of air ducts, that insulation is correctly installed, energy-saving low E windows fit snugly, and more. The less energy you use, the more green you get in the environment and in your pocket.
TEP Guarantee Homes, another bright solution from Tucson Electric Power. We're there when you need us.
People should call Goldberg and Osborne immediately after an accident because memories fade, especially if you've been injured, and evidence can get lost or destroyed quickly. By calling us right away, we can help you find medical care, handle the insurance company phone calls, and gather the evidence. The sooner you call us, the better.
Goldberg and Osborne, dedicated to helping people after an accident. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Whoa! The new Ultimate Turkey and Bacon Avocado. Get ready for the ride of your life. Wipe out in waves of tender turkey and crispy bacon. Gaze upon the rad rainbow of voluminous veggies and cool sea green avocado, all on freshly baked bread. Are you up for the ultimate? then you've got to try the totally new Subway Ultimate Turkey and Bacon Avocado. Carve one up today. Crank up the flavor at Subway.
The border security plan of Senators McCain and Kyle calls for 3,000 additional troops to keep us safe. President Obama says he'll send 524. This is no political game, Mr. President. It's about Arizona lives. It's a fight we must win. And with John McCain on our side, we will.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Clearance prices up to 77% off now during our biggest clearance sale ever at Sam Levitt's. $10 billion of first-quality furniture, mattresses, accessories, patio sets, even area rugs have been reduced to sell out fast. Overstocks, last ones, discontinued models, some scratched and dented, but all at big reductions while quantities last. Plus, you can buy today and get special financing until January 2012. And Sam Levitt's can deliver it quick with same or next day delivery. It's our biggest furniture clearance sale ever, now at every Sam Levitt's location.
Looks like it was a breezy Sunday. Kyler, let me just get straight to you.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, hey, what a beautiful shot right there. I hope you got to get out there and enjoy some of this fine weather we had on our Sunday. Pretty dry out there. Did see a few clouds. It looked like they were going to produce some thunderstorms. Saw a little bit of shower activity over Mount Lemmon. And we're also seeing a little bit to the northwest. We'll take a look at the radar here in just a little bit, but right now we'll bring you up to date on the current conditions across southern Arizona because it's a pretty quiet night out there. 77 degrees in Sierra Vista, 80 degrees in Safford, and 93 degrees in the last hour in Ajo. Here's a look at the rest of the state. 62 Window Rock, 57 degrees in Flagstaff. Some natural air conditioning going on there if you have your windows open. 95 degrees in Gila Bend. And you saw those hot temperatures just to the west of us there. Well, that's some dry air that'll be moving in here over the next 24 hours. 84 degrees in Tucson in the last hour, 60 on the dew point, 44% humidity, and a northeast wind at 3 miles an hour. Taking a look at the numbers on the day, 94 was our high, so that's just a little bit below average for this time of the year, but I didn't hear any complaints there. 75 was our mild overnight low, 73 the average overnight low for this state. And no rain in the rain gauge today, but we got that nice dose of rain for many of us there last night, which was nice. But boy, I'll tell you what, I think this rain gauge, we're going to be pouring dust out of it through the end of the week. It is going to get dry around here again. High temperatures across the state today, 102 in Yuma, 73 in Flagstaff, and 88 degrees in Globe. Across the nation, still hot all the way up to the Canadian border there in the Midwest. 96 degrees in Minneapolis today, and saw 87 in Albuquerque, 70 degrees in San Francisco. Here's a look at the national radar and satellite picture this evening. Still seeing that scattered shower and thunderstorm activity all the way through the central Rockies and even into the Midwest tonight, but things starting to dry out rapidly here. Here's a look at our radar pictures. We have seen just a couple of light thunder showers around the area moving off to the northeast. They will continue to do that through the night. It'll give way to partly cloudy skies overnight, and then some dry conditions move in. Let's put this futurecast into motion, and we'll put it through tomorrow afternoon. You can see most of that moisture well south of the international border. That's where it's going to stay all week as we get into a southwesterly flow over our region. And what that means is it brings in drier weather into our area, and drier air means hotter temperatures as well. Overnight lows tonight look like this, 60s and 70s, and then tomorrow back into the 80s, 90s in the lower elevations, 74 tonight in Tucson, and then we will see temperatures back into the 90s for tomorrow afternoon. 98 degrees your high, and drying out in the 7-day forecast with the triple digits returning. So break out the sunscreen again, the shorts and all that stuff, and probably the umbrella too.
Here's our Sunday night Fox 11 pet of the day, Coda. He is a 5-year-old Chihuahua, possibly Pomeranian mix. He loves people and other dogs. We're not sure about cats. He's housebroken, knows commands, and loves traveling by foot, car, and purse. So for more information, head to fox11az.com.
Okay, good name there.
I know. Thanks for joining us. The Sunday Night Sports Force is next.
Follow us on Twitter or log on to fox11az.com. You're watching Fox 11 News at 9, the #1 primetime newscast in Tucson.
At Pizza Hut, choose any pizza, any size, any crust, any toppings, and pay just $10. This $10 deal ends soon, so hurry to Pizza Hut today.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Ever since cars first rolled off the assembly line, car dealers have worked on commission. Tucson Dodge and Tucson Chrysler Jeep's mission, should you choose to accept it, is to charge no commission. Once again, your sales force will not make commission on any new Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep. Instead, they will offer customers the Tucson Dodge and Tucson Chrysler Jeep commission-free price. This message will self-destruct in 3 seconds. It's commission impossible.
Shop with confidence for your next vehicle with Tucson Federal Credit Union. With low rates, fast pre-approvals, and no payments for up to 60 days.
Tucson Federal Credit Union. Better than a bank. Folks, it's time to claim your Mazda and all the discounts that come with it during the Jim Click Mazda Claim Your Mazda Summer Sales Event.
The 2010 Mazda 3 named the best compact car of 2010 by Car and Driver. Now just $179 a month, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months. Mazda 6 with automatic, now just $17,999, or get 0% for up to 60 months. And the all-new Mazda 2 is now in stock.
Come test drive one today at Jim Click Mazda, 22nd Street in Wilmot, or in the Tucson Auto Mall, across from the Tucson Mall.
Check out ztucson.com for free classifieds. Use the Z for free.
Local entertainment news in prime time. The Fox 11 Searchlight every night on Fox 11 News at 9. Live from our KMSB studio in Tucson, Arizona, this is the Fox 11 Sports Force. Here's your host, Double V, Vinny Vincetta.
All right, get ready. This honestly might be the greatest baseball catch any of us have ever seen. It's been circulating the video world this week from Pro Baseball Japan. The man in center field, Masato Kakamatsu, there he goes. Dude climbs the wall. My gosh, no way to argue that you've seen anything better. Well, except for that play you made back in the glory days in high school when cameras didn't exist. But that is unreal. What a play. He'll be a New York Yankee probably before we know it. And with that, welcome inside the Sunday Fox 11 Sports Force. I had an amazing play in right field my junior season. Steve Kendrick was in center. He was a witness. That's all I'm saying. Arizona football heads back to Fort Huachuca in a couple of days. Lots of things to talk about tonight. Matt Leinart needs a best friend on offense this season. Might that be Cards running back Beanie Wells? Plus, we'll do some high school football and some bows and arrows as well. That and more coming by the top of the hour. So the first day of Cat football practice on Thursday morning, motivated from the very beginning with a goal of playing in the Rose Bowl. Arizona has never been to the granddaddy of them all. It wasn't going to be a 2 or 3 year plan for Mike Stoops. That's where the program was before he showed up. It's taken time, but we're all thinking the time is now to throw that other leg over the fence. Lots of playmakers back for practices into the preseason. The Stars seem to be aligned for some positive haps.
Yeah, I like our business attitude of what we've done just over the summer and the way our program's set right now, I think, and that's what you want. You want a consistency in your program, and that's really what we worked hard for. This is going to be a grind, throughout the season, and we just got to stay the course, stay steady, and not get too high, get too low. Just do what we do, and try to do it as efficiently as we can, and that's really what we need to do.
And with a team now that is still stacked with wide receivers despite the exit of DeLaShawn Dean, junior David Douglas might get lost among the likes of, say, Jaron Kreiner, David Roberts, and Bug Wright, but that qualifies as a good problem. Here's Fox 11's Kevin Lewis.
Shifting from an inside position to the outside, you could say David Douglas is a guy who's gone from overlooked to a guy the defenses are going to have to look at in 2010.
I played outside receiver in high school, and when I came here, I just came straight to the slot. But it's something I'm excited about, and I'm working hard. I haven't done it for the past few years, so I'm just out here trying to get better. And Coach Nichols is a great coach. So, I mean, it's an exciting deal for me. Because outside, it's more of a, you throw it up, you go get it. It's more of a one-on-one type deal, which I like and I'm excited about.
Douglas isn't thinking of the move to the outside as one that's closer to the spotlight.
No, I really don't really pay attention to that. I'm out here just trying to get better and we're all having fun. And, offense, we're doing well. Defense, we're both doing well. And so far, we've had 2 good days of practice. It's all fun. Yeah. But, it's different. And, yeah, I'm enjoying it, having a good time.
Thanks, Kevin. Here's a sneak peek at what they have coming back this season. Those are productive numbers. Hopefully it's a case of opposing defenses figuring out how to cover all the options for Nick Foles. And Kevin will have more later with the linebackers in tonight's show. All right, the boys in the trenches will be happy to know this. As much as timing with his receivers is a huge deal to quarterback Nick Foles, which it should be, Mr. Foles also realizes what the fellows up front mean to the operation, and that is definitely, there it is, a Fox 11 X Factor.
Of course, treat the linemen right, because those guys got blocked for you, and they save my butt all the time, so I got to, treat them right.
What does that entail, treating them right? Buying them lunches? Or?
Occasionally, might buy them a slice of pizza, go play some golf with them. I lifted with them one time this summer. That was interesting. Yeah. I think I made them feel too bad. I was lifting more than that. No, I'm just kidding. No, we had a good time. They're a great group of guys, so we have fun.
Nick's a good guy, always having fun. When we come back, the Cowboys on the field tonight. Plus, we'll journey up to Cards Camp. That and more just underway on the Sunday Fox 11 Sports Force.
Hefty bags with unscented odor block technology help neutralize odors and stop the stinkies. Stinky, stinky, stinky. Hefty.
5, 4, 3. Quiznos 5, 4, 3 value menu. Grab a large sub for only $5. A toasty torpedo for only $4. Or a toasty bullet for only $3.
Toasty.
I'm a surfer, I'm a wife, and I'm a women's world longboard champion. I believe that getting a solid education opens more doors than winning a world championship. I think to get anywhere in life, you have to be willing to work hard. And I think that's what makes the reward so great, is when you know you've done your best effort in trying to get there. I believe that you should work hard and play even harder. My name is Joy Monahan, and I'm a Mormon.
I am an artist and the mother of 3 beautiful girls. I believe that my very best painting will never compare to the satisfaction I get being a mother. I believe that a woman's place is actually not in the kitchen, because in this family, the dad is a far better cook. I believe that God wants me to be an individual. My uniqueness is what I have to offer. My name is Cassandra Barney, and I'm a Mormon.
Jonathan Payton put his own campaign on hold to fight during the darkest days of Iraq.
The kind of guy you need left the cushy job here to go serve with his fellow countrymen.
And when Jonathan came back, he took on the establishment and won.
The establishment didn't want it, but Jonathan kept his promise to Katie and me, and I'll never forget that.
And Jonathan helped pass Arizona's new immigration law. Jonathan Payton, a leader who will fight for us.
I'm Jonathan Payton, and I approve this message.
Call Express Flooring today and you could win $5,000 cash. It's easy. Just call Express Flooring for a free in-home estimate and be entered to win $5,000 cash in our monthly drawing. You'll also save with warehouse discounts up to 63% off and pay no interest for 12 months. Plus, get our famous lifetime installation warranty. Express Flooring makes it easy. Just ask Lydia Aaron, our first $5,000 winner.
Call Express. The next winner could be you.
Welcome back. The Cards open their preseason schedule Saturday of next week at home with the Houston Texans in town. The re-debut of Matt Leinart at quarterback. What will he do with it? Hopefully just manage the game really well, with running back Chris Beanie Wells starting his 2nd season in the desert. Tim Ring with the story from Flagstaff.
I want to be the best running back in the league.
Meet the new, sleeker, slender, and apparently more confident Beanie Wells.
I always said, it's, kind of embedded in my mind that I'm going to be the best running back that ever played for the Arizona Cardinals and, one of the best in the league this year.
Wells' bravado is a complete 180 from his disposition a year ago, when a bewildered and homesick Wells was given a unique midseason respite from his head coach.
Coach Wiz had to send me home for a few days last year.
That's right, home after week 8 to Akron, Ohio for a little TLC from his 10 brothers and sisters and his mom.
He comes from such a large family, and it's so important to him, and he had a child that was coming. There was a lot of factors, and I just told him that if we won the Chicago game, he could go home after that game.
I'm one of 11, so I'm used to being around my brothers and sisters, and I've never been that far away from home, so it was a good opportunity for me to get back and enjoy them for a little bit.
And one could say after that, Beanie Wells went home a boy and came back a man.
At that time, my feeling was it was a good point to do that with Beanie, and it was after he got back, he was like a new man, so it was obviously a good thing for him.
And a good thing for the Cards as well, spearheaded a dominant rushing attack in the season's second half, thanks in part to the love of Beanie Wells' #1 fan.
My mom, she's the greatest.
All right, NFL preseason action. The Hall of Fame game, Dallas and Cincinnati. First quarter, 3rd and 12. Tony Romo over the middle to Roy Williams, goes up, gets it. That play was good for a first down. T.O. had 2 catches for the Bengals, 18 yards, and they were drama-free catches. That's the key. Fourth quarter, Brandon Sharp picks young Jordan Palmer for the pick 6. Oh boy, older brother Carson will point out those mistakes in film sessions. Dallas a winner tonight in Canton, 16-7. We did a preview of Sunnyside football Thursday night, and one thing about longtime head coach Richard Sanchez, he doesn't make practice easy for his boys. Trust me, I've been to a few, and I'm happy just to stand and watch. But that's because it's a lot more than just football. For him, he's prepping his kiddos for handling that thing called real life down the road.
Some of them get a little bit earlier than others. Other ones, they don't get it, and by the time they leave, they come back and say, oh, now we know what you're talking about. But most of them get it, and they understand, if you want to succeed, you got to work hard in what you want.
And a stop as well at Class 5A Ironwood Ridge, year number 2 under head coach Matt Johnson, formerly of Catalina Foothills, but a special quarterback in Tyler DeMoore to work with. The Nighthawks played a tough schedule last year and didn't maybe hit the stride they wanted, although they did finish 5-5 in the regular season after a 1-4 start. Coach Johnson putting this perspective on things.
You don't think about the next week. You don't think about the next day. You do what you're doing right now to the best of your ability, and that's what it's about. I'm not worried about week 3. I'm not worried about week 1. I tell you what, I want to make sure I have a great practice today, and then after today's practice, I'll worry about Saturday morning at 7 a.m.
And I'll be sleeping. We'll take a look at that Wildcat linebacking core a little bit later in the show, but right after this, let's get some early impressions from those first handful of practices. This is the Sunday Fox 11 Sports Force.
I was looking for something reliable and safe for my family when I discovered Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. They're thoroughly inspected, have amazing warranties, roadside assistance, and a Carfax vehicle history report. Plus, Toyota is a name I trust.
Get something you can trust, like Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. The best new cars make the best used cars. And now get 2.9% financing for 60 months on Highlander, Highlander Hybrid, Tacoma, or Tundra. Where? Your local Toyota dealer.
Welcome to Big Appliance Repair. Your wait time is 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Not at Tucson Appliance. We service what we sell with our own service department available to help you with your appliance repairs. Only at Tucson Appliance Company, Speedway in Columbus, where our low prices are your priority.
We asked our number crunchers here to find a way to get you the consistently fast fiber optic heavy-duty internet at an affordable price. So here it is. Choose any connection speed up to 40 megs for just $19.99 a month. Seriously? Any speed?
Any speed up to 40 megs.
What can you do with that kind of power? How about downloading movies without interruption? Or sharing your uncle's rad ukulele video in seconds? Is that a ferret wearing a top hat? Hysterical. Chat, video blog, video blog. Not your thing? Fight zombies non-stop for hours, days, weeks on end. And you can do it all wirelessly, like this guy. Does that feel like $19.99 internet to you?
No, sir.
You got that right. Choose any connection speed up to 40 megs of the seriously powerful heavy-duty internet for just $19.99 a month. Seriously.
The illegal alien invasion and
John McCain made it worse.
McCain wrote the amnesty bill, opposed the border fence, voted against border security funding.
And McCain voted against the Medicare prescription drug program for seniors, but allowed illegal aliens to get Social Security and Medicare, even if they committed fraud.
After 28 years in Washington, it's time for John McCain to go.
J.D. Hayworth will stop the illegal alien invasion and is endorsed by Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
I'm J.D. Hayworth, and I approve this message.
Z-Deals is proud to offer half-off gift certificates to Anthony's and the Catalinas, exquisite dining and award-winning wine, now offering their popular summer special. You can get $50 gift certificates for $25 only at ztucson.com.
Welcome back to the Sunday Fox 11 Sports Force. Some more Wildcat football. Happy to have aboard Anthony Gimino, TucsonCitizen.com. Welcome aboard, my friend. 4 practices in at this point. Today was close to the media, but your impressions at this point are what?
The great thing is that this team is veteran enough now, and Mike Stoops has been around long enough. You know, there might be some tweaking on offense and defense, but the schemes are kind of so entrenched that they're able, like right on the first day, to just hit the ground running. There's no break-in time. There's very little of that introductory coaching thing.
Right.
I mean, that first practice looked like it was kind of a mid-season practice.
Driving school where everybody can actually drive already.
They were there.
Yeah,
they were there. And just the freshmen. You know, Mike Stoops has, even after the first couple days, was raving about the freshmen, which is a little bit unusual. And, you know, he wasn't talking specifically about a lot of guys. He did talk about the safety, Marquise Flowers.
Phoenix, yep.
But physically, you know, the offensive linemen, they're that great. 6'5", 6'6", 290, 300 pounds. You can tell that they've got a great amount of potential. And maybe they don't need everybody right away, but for the future, all these guys are really kind of passing the eye test, which is great news.
Day one, the headlines seemed to be that, hey, we're going to play now with a Rose Bowl mentality. I found that interesting.
And that's really different too.
Yeah, it is.
For several years, the first 4 or 5 years of Mike Stoops, we're talking about, okay, can they get a little bit better?
Right.
Can they have a winning season? Go to a bowl. Now they realize, and it's true, and a lot of Pac-10 teams are in the same boat. The window of opportunity is wide open.
Yeah.
You know, Stanford feels the same way. Oregon State feels the same way. Washington with Jake Locker feels they can make that jump.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that Arizona's embracing that. They're not saying, oh yeah, we're great, we're going to go to the Rose Bowl. They're saying we have a chance, and we have a chance to do it, and they're really confident. And some of that confidence comes from they had a taste of success last year.
Yeah.
They know what they can do, and they know what they can't do, and that's where the Holiday Bowl loss to Nebraska was really, it wasn't the worst thing. It was horrible at the time, but if you're going to lose and get embarrassed like that on national TV, it's best as the last game of the year.
That's a good spin to put on.
Then you have 7-8 months to work on that and get motivated by that.
Let's talk about Nick Foles. I mean, from the practices I've seen, the first few, he looks sharp.
He does. I mean, the big jump I think we'll see with Nick is, you know, he says it, the coaches say it, his teammates say it. You know, he really worked on his footwork in the spring, which with the new quarterbacks coach Frank Selfo, who's a really sharp guy.
Very.
And the other thing the players say, and Nick says too, is that he's really working with his eyes. You know, last year he may have locked in a little too much.
More field vision.
Right, and he talked to me a little bit about, you know, moving that safety over with his eyes, and that way you can, a route that's not open, he can get it open by moving the safety over. And so there's just that natural progression. Second year, a little more savvy. Some of the stuff that may not really be noticeable to regular fans, but I think he's going to just take that little percentage up a little bit and be much more effective.
All right, less than a minute now here, Anthony. Defensively, Mike Stoops seems to be rolling up his sleeves to be more entrenched in the guys in the blue jerseys than worrying about his offensive guys.
Right. I think the offense, he's got really a great amount of trust in Seth Luttrell and Bill Bedenbaugh, the new co-offensive coordinator.
Right.
Defensively, even the new secondary coach, Greg Brown, who's the co-coordinator with Tim Kish, I was asking him the other day about, you know, what might he be tweaking, what's his style a little bit, and he's like, whoa, back off, man. This is Mike Stoops' defense. I will do whatever Mike Stoops wants.
Nice.
And he's had success. He knows what he's doing, and it really is his show. And with his brother out of the picture, you know, Mike's got the resume. He can do what he wants. He can do what he wants on that side of the ball.
Very, very cool stuff. Anthony, thanks.
Thanks.
That is Anthony Gimino. Check him out. His work, TucsonCitizen.com. Hang around. Round third and head home after this.
To get my buddies to help me move, I picked up Pizza Hut pizzas for just $10 each.
Those were the only boxes he picked up.
Hey, whoa, I supervised.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
This is Bob. Bob's suffering. Bob didn't get his car stereo from the specialists because he fell for some gimmick. Now, Bob has no friends. Not cool, Bob. Hey, Bob, why don't you head over to the specialists? They have insane deals during their temporary insanity sale. Like buy a JL audio amp and your JL subs are free. Here's Bob today. Looks like somebody got a new stereo from the specialists. Very cool, Bob.
From here, it was unexpected, and I needed some extra money.
The bank couldn't help me. A Buckeye title loan at CheckSmart gave us the cash we needed.
To there.
I didn't know that I was driving around with the cash in my car. Best of all, we got the most cash.
And kept our car. The rates were really affordable. At CheckSmart, we make title loans easy. It's just one of the ways we help you get from here to there. Life happens. CheckSmart helps.
All good hiking begins with the boots. At Summit Hut, we know that the right footwear is the foundation to a great outdoor experience. Our professionally trained boot fitters are experts in finding you the right brand, design, and fit for camping, climbing, or hiking short trails or rough terrain, or just every day. Summit Hut is the only Bill Orange certified boot fitters in Tucson, where you'll find everything for all your adventure needs. Hiking, camping, or travel. Summit Hut, Tucson, owned and operated for 40 years with 2 locations to serve you. Losing isn't all bad. Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. All the pizzas we love are just $10 each. Winning is so overrated.
Pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Sunday Fox 11 Sports Force. Let's go hiking, as we do usually every Sunday night with Dave Baker from Summit Hut right here in Tucson. Dave, welcome back. Let me get this right. We're going to talk about the Finger Rock Canyon Trail that climbs up the Finger Rock Canyon to the summit of Mount Kimball in the Catalina Mountains. Woo!
Wow. Well, you said Finger Rock a lot of times in that introduction, Vinny, but Finger Rock is one of the signature rock formations in the Catalinas that can be seen from a lot of places in the Tucson Valley, and this is a great place to go hiking.
Take us through this hike then, Dave.
Well, the first mile or so is pretty mellow, but the final 4 miles up to the top of Mount Kimball is steep and strenuous. But this is still a hike I really like to recommend. People can take it easy down low and turn around early, but the further you continue up the canyon, the more spectacular vistas you're going to see. There's some great viewpoints up there of Tucson, Oro Valley, the Catalinas, the Push Ridge. I just would have to say it's, again, one of the signature hikes in the entire Tucson Valley.
I love that picture of the cactuses right there. That was amazing.
Yeah, the towering cliffs and Sonoran vegetation, big views. This is a bonus. You got to work hard. Some people like that about this hike, though. The workout and the strenuous nature of that steep trail is something that a lot of hikers really, really enjoy.
Now, the beginning of this trailhead, Dave, is literally at the end of North Alvernon Way, literally. So it's just an easy drive to get there and start this hike.
Yeah, I love that about Finger Rock Canyon. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes to drive from most places in Tucson to get there. Hop out of the car and away you go.
This hike faces south, So what that tells us is this time of the year can be strenuous, a lot of heat involved. Maybe recommended to wait on this hike until some cooler weather shows up.
You know, Vinny, that's a good point. We're talking about this a little early in the season, so to speak, but for fall, winter, and spring, this is just a great place to go. If you get out there now, take plenty of water, get an early start, and plan on getting back to your cars before it gets too hot.
And again, you say this is a Southern Arizona classic, huh?
It is one of hundreds in the Tucson area.
As they all are, indeed. All right, hey, we'll do it again next week. Lots more around Southern Arizona. Dave, thanks as always.
Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you, Dave. From Summit Hut here in Tucson. Be sure and check them out. Be sure and check out as well fox11az.com. Always up and running well for you. And that bottom line, always just for you. Email any good story idea, please, to sports@fox11az.com. And well, despite hitting rock bottom this week at the Bridgestone Invite, Tiger Woods will stay #1 in the world. Tiger shot a 77 today, finishing tied for next to last in the 80-player field. Plus 18 was his finishing number, and we're actually, I think, going to fast forward maybe to the final putt we're going to show you, or maybe we're just not going to have that video. Anyway, Tiger not doing well. Phil Mickelson didn't do well. Hunter Mahan, he won the event at 12 under par. All right, NASCAR, do we have that? Juan Pablo Montoya wins the Sprint Cup race at Watkins Glen today. He pulled away on a late restart he did from Marcos Ambrose and then took care of Wildcat Kurt Busch by just under 5 seconds in the 90-lap race. It's career win #2 for Montoya. Ambrose wound up 3rd behind Busch, his 3rd straight top 3 at Watkins Glen. A.J. Allmendinger and pole sitter Carl Edwards rounded out the top 5. The D-backs were able to take 2 of 3 from the Padres despite a miserable game today. The Padres blow it out 10-1. Arizona drops to 43 and 69. The D-backs start a series out Milwaukee on Monday. So when you think archery, you probably think of Robin Hood and Men in Tights, but oh, my friends, much more than that. Fox 11 photojournalist J.P. Harrington went over to Desert Archers here in Tucson and watched the locals who make it look easy.
Well, the bow and arrow came from the caveman. Somehow he figured out how to put a string between 2 ends of a stick and throw another stick downrange. Helped supply food for the table. The technology has basically been the same throughout the millennium, except for the last 50 years. Technology has caught up with the archery world just like any other sport. With all kinds of highly technical machine parts on your bow. They supply a lot more energy and force in an arrow nowadays. Some of the newer bows nowadays, they're shooting up to 340, 350 feet per second. You're going in excess of a football field in 1 second. A 3D shoot is a simulated hunting shoot. Like this out here today, we shoot from 15 yards out to about 50 yards. The target itself, they have different scoring rings. Usually in the center of the chest area, they have a ring about the size of a golf ball. We score is 12 points, and that's the highest point score you can get. And the next ring, a little bit bigger, you're looking at the size of a softball maybe. And that's a 10 ring. And then the next ring generally covers the entire chest cavity area, and that's what we call the 8 ring. The top shooters will shoot consistent 10s, plus or minus a little bit. I have an extreme competitive edge to me. I always want to beat my best score, and I always want to beat my buddies. And on days when my buddies beat me, they're only my acquaintances.
All right, and that was archery expert Stretch Anthony who was helping us out. Let's roll with the Fox 11 Sports Force Play of the Week. Padres D-backs from last night. Chris Young led off the game with a dinger in the first, and right here, quickly we'll get to this. He walks it off in the 9th inning on a night to celebrate Gonzo having his number retired. The D-backs won the game 6-5 over the San Diego Padres. All right, when we come back, let's do a little bit more Wildcat football and some Pima football. Hang around, back after this.
During the Honda clearance event, you can save on any Civic. the most durable, longest-lasting car in its class. These offers are the only thing from Honda that won't last. It's called the Knock.
Change the world. Oh, I wish I had the power to change the world. Someone else said change the world, change the world. Can somebody else say the power to change the world? Oh, I wish I had the power.
We've learned a lot about J.D. Hayworth lately. Here's more from his former supporters.
Hayworth was my congressman, but he voted for hundreds of billions of dollars in pork barrel spending.
J.D. Hayworth is, for me, the wrong guy at the wrong time.
I really like that McCain stands up for what he believes in.
J.D. Hayworth.
Character matters. Vote now for John McCain.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Do you want some Fiber One honey clusters?
Yeah. You must really care about him.
What? No.
You gave him fiber.
No, she didn't. This tastes way too good to be fiber.
They're delicious, crunchy clusters with sweet honey and half a day's worth of fiber.
You care about my fiber?
Not really.
I care about your fiber, too. I have for a while.
Okay, Carl, why don't you care about her fiber?
Hey, Carl.
Fiber One. Cardboard no. Delicious, yes.
Subway dinner dilemma number 79. You work across town, and tonight, your daughter has a birthday party. Your husband has to be picked up from the airport, and you still have to do something about dinner. Sounds like a night made for Subway restaurants. Try a dinner time deal every day after 4 p.m. or all day Sunday. It's any regular footlong for only $5, any 2 regular footlongs for only $9, or any 3 regular footlongs for only $12. Subway, eat fresh.
Folks, I'm so excited about the all-new lineup at Jim Click Hyundai because during the Jim Click Hyundai Uncensored Sales Event, you can get
the 2010 Hyundai Elantra and Hyundai Accent both with 0% for 60 months, plus up to $1,500 in bonus cash. Or drive the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata for just $199 a month. 2010 Hyundai Tucson just $239 a month.
Now that's a great value. All that plus the assurance of America's best warranty at Jim Click Hyundai.
Welcome back. The Arizona linebacking corps has gotten lots of press through spring ball and now into the new preseason. Coach Stoops leaning heavily on that group to grow up in a hurry. Sterling Lewis, Xavier Kelly, and Vuna Tuihalamaka gone. Again, here is Fox 11's Kevin Lewis looking at the immediate future of the boys in the middle.
The Wildcats returned 0 linebackers from last year's defense, but head coach Mike Stoops doesn't think the lack of experience will take away from the position.
We lost a great deal of leadership and maturity. I think that's the first thing that really comes into your mind when you look at those 3 players. You lose a little bit of that maturity in the middle part of your defense. We lose, all those tackles, and we got guys that haven't made all those tackles. So seeing them doing it live, I have great confidence in their ability. So they just got to go out and do it.
Despite the fact that there's so much inexperience on the defensive side of the ball, the Wildcat linebackers are looking forward to that challenge.
We're flying around and we're popping pretty good. So, I mean, we still have a lot to learn. The upside is, tremendous. So, we just got to keep working hard and we'll be fine.
The Cats D has 26 days to get the linebacker situation straight. And that doesn't seem like much time, but they're looking forward to it.
It's kind of fun because you got to come out flying and you got to show people what you really can do and what the linebackers can do and step up and have fun. You get a lot of people doubting our defense, and we come out and fly around and we do good, and everybody hits hard and we win games, and the team's going to be good.
Again, thanks, Kevin. Now, this is a setback for Pima Aztec football. Would-be starting quarterback and sophomore Daniel Nicholas is on the physically unable to perform list. He's out for the season with a combo shoulder and leg injury. He's opting to sit the season out. So that means that head coach Pat Nugent is going to have to make a decision on a true freshman quarterback, just something else to weigh on his mind, trying to graduate this team to the winning ways. And that's the challenge. The caliber of athlete is better, much much better. Just translate that into a program that walks and talks like a winning outfit.
The caliber of kids that we look at right now look like they belong here. And number two, just having that off season, having kids for a year and a half right now, developing personality, developing leadership skills, those are all big time for us right now. And, you know, those are the type of guys we needed to get going. And now the freshmen come in with tremendous skill. Now they've got to learn what a college atmosphere is about.
Different than high school indeed. One final stop and pay some bills, come back and close it out right after this. Hang around.
Don't let a DUI arrest ruin your life. Call Thomas Wilson today at 624-2728. If you've been arrested for a DUI, Thomas Wilson will fight for your rights the way he fought for our country as a Marine, with drive and dedication.
My career depended on the outcome of my case. Tom proved I did nothing wrong. I was found not guilty of all 3 DUI charges. Tom was a warrior every step of the way.
Call for a free consultation or visit us online at TucsonDUITeam.com. Call Thomas Wilson at 624-2728.
Western bacon cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating the Western bacon cheeseburger. Get 2 for only $5. Only at Carl's Jr.
Oh, cheesecake. Okay, what if I just had a small slice? I was good today, I deserve it. Or I could have a medium slice and some celery sticks and they would cancel each other out, right? Or okay, I could have 1 large slice and jog in place as I eat it. Or okay, how about 1 large slice while jogging in place followed by 8 celery?
Raspberry cheesecake. I've been thinking about this all day.
Wow, and you've lost weight.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yoplait Light with 30 delicious flavors, all around 100 calories each. Yoplait, it is so good.
Welcome back. Toronto Blue Jay pitcher Brandon Morrow with no smile from the baseball gods today against the Rays. He took a no bid into the 9th inning, and with 2 outs, Evan Longoria makes sure Tampa doesn't get skunked again this season. That is brutal. A no-hit bid gone just like that. But to Morrow's credit, he gathered himself to strike out his 17th hitter of the game to close it out. 1-0 the final. With a 1-hitter, still impressive. Check out the Sports Force week to come. Cat football with a Monday and Tuesday practice in town before heading to Fort Huachuca for another preseason getaway. High school football practices roll on, as well as do the Cards up in Flagstaff. A full slate of NFL preseason games into the next week. Football full-time. That is sweet. Now if only Brett Favre would join the party. No, I'm kidding, Pat. We don't like him anymore. All right, that's the big show. Thanks to everybody involved. Kevin Lewis, back with you on Monday. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Check out ztucson.com for free classifieds. Use the Z for free.
Express Flooring is the home of the $5,000 cash giveaway. Just call Express and we'll come to your home for a free in-home estimate. Save with warehouse discounts up to 63% off, plus get our famous lifetime installation warranty. Call Express today.
Want to know some of our favorite things? We love summertime fun.
Wearing our favorite colors.
And jamming to our favorite bands. With kids and eating Totino's the most.
We're there for fun.
And best of all, our favorite, eating Totino's!
For generations, we've worked this land. Today, it's ground zero for coyotes, drugs, and violence. But Gabrielle Giffords is doing something about it. She battled non-stop to get the National Guard down here, helped secure more border agents, and wrote a bill to toughen penalties for drug smugglers. Gabrielle Giffords gets it.
I'm Gabrielle Giffords, and I approve this message.
Losing isn't all bad. Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. All the pizzas we love are just $10 each. Winning is so overrated.
Pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
The following program contains real medical situations. Parental discretion is advised. Coming up on Healthcare Heroes, a woman with breast cancer makes a life-changing decision.
I'm stage 1 cancer, and today I'm going in for a double mastectomy.